Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's micros market recap. Let's get right into it. It is 4 p.m. Eastern at the New York close. It is May 1st, Monday, May 1st, I should say, 2023. Let's take a look at oil. So we opened below the close, and oil had initial little sell off. Buyers rallied up and made some highs on the day, came down, hit that edge, finally as support. That resistance took a while. They fought it tooth and nail, but ultimately that resistance lost. But they did come back and hit it as support, and then they just killed the edge after that. And then we had one more entry for support, and that one really drove it home. But ultimately, we never got to that close from Friday, so we are closing net down on the day. As far as gold goes, we opened practically on that close from Friday, had a move up. They stalled at that HVA edge. Well, they did stall here before, but again, once they blew through this line here, this first edge, this other one was a lot riskier to go after if you're going for that short. So there are some potential trending entries that our students looked at. If you watch those winners, losers, break even videos today, you may or may not see one of those entries that a student took. As it was a trending entry, we don't generally count them towards our winners, but we do try to display them if they were sent in. But with that being said, that those shorts that did entail at that edge in gold above us, I know for a fact several students went after those. So we'll see that in today's video, if there is one posted today or tomorrow. We've been super busy here. A lot of things in the works for everybody. But ultimately, we did have a move down. They had a round trip surpassing those opening lows. The sellers taking charge. And then look how consolidated it just got. That this thing just started painting fences and was in a tight range, and that's what they're still doing. They're just so consolidated, so congested. No one wants to touch gold right now for whatever reason. They drove it down. So we are finishing net down as well in gold. As far as our equities go, we still have another hour for them to be able to move, but right now both of them are below the close from Friday. If they finish where they are or lower, then we are going to be net down. It's too close to call at this time. It is a little lackluster in the volatility right now, so we may just finish here, but you never know. Someone might step in with some volatility and drive this market somewhere. But let's take a look at what happened. So we opened below that close in the HVA, and we just started going straight up. That's a large buyer or seller that you heard from the doorbell. And then they kept going up, hit that contract high, fought it, and then gave up. And then they kept fighting it and kept fighting it. Ultimately, they did make new highs again, but for the most part, they just couldn't get to one area. It wasn't trending at all. Very responsive at these edges, which is a good thing. If it's not trending, you want to see it responsive at those edges. It just gives you those opportunities that you're looking for, especially if you get to a new edge that hasn't been there before. But ultimately, so far, we are closing below that close. You can see just that price action, not a lot of range extension on the day, which isn't a terrible thing. It's just, it's a Monday. It's kind of to be expected. And then this week, we also have the FOMC announcement on Wednesday, which generally the days leading up to it are pretty slow as well. Now, micro NASDAQ, see if I can go back any farther. I can't, so I have to scroll back. It's a similar story with the exception. Oh, sorry, not exception, but without the exception of anything. So it's very similar with the exception of getting those contract highs. That's what I was trying to say. It took much longer to get new highs on the day in the NASDAQ. So we opened below that close, hit that HVA edge, and they stalled, bounced off it, came back down, and they just kept fighting this edge. So in much the same way that the ES contract high was the area of contention, this edge here in the NASDAQ, this 13,305.50 edge, was the area of contention of a lot of response around that. Lots of back and forth, and you'll see that as we scroll through. Ultimately, they did make new highs on that contract, as you can see there from that black line up there. But they're generally, I should say, relatively, they were short lived. because it occurred during lunch at 12. And then when we got back at 2, so that 14, we were pretty much already out of it. So we missed that whole that scene when we went to lunch. Yes, I take a 2-hour lunch. Generally, the afternoons get really slow anyway. So whether you come back or not that's up to you. But I tend to come back for at least another 2 hours, uh, just to give them a little bit more context and see if there is anything occurring. But for the most part, most of your trades will occur in the morning session, or even the pre-market. So, with that being said, you can see that this edge is just another great area for that contention. Good resistance and support occurring there. Just was well traversed, though, making it riskier if you're just going to keep going after it and after it and after it. How many times will it hold, right? But ultimately, we are closing that down in all of our markets from Friday's close. If you're interested in learning more information about these levels and how you can get them onto your charts the night before or the methodology, feel free to reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can find us on Facebook or go to our website at targettrading.co. Get in touch with the representative at either location. They'll gladly show you what we do in our rooms each and every day that the markets are open, and you'll be able to see for yourself why we are the number one trading education company in the world. We look forward to having you there.